Today, I will be going over Bitcoin, SUI, SEI, ended with TAO. But first, I want to say 12 days ago, appreciate the support. But I said, is the market bottom coming? It's not my opinion that matters. It's my ability to identify what's happening in the chart that matters. And what we're seeing in the chart is a short-term bottom forming, right? On the 2-day, the 3-day, the 4-day chart, we're seeing confirmations, meaning golden cross structure on your MACD. Good thing. We're getting the RSI from below to above. Great thing. We're seeing the stochastic RSI golden cross structure above the 50. These are all good things. I'm seeing higher lows. I'm seeing that play out on the 3-day, the 4-day, the 5-day. And once that plays out on the longer time frames, like the 5-day and the weekly, that is a confirmation that your swing is going up. I am a swing trader. So I do think we have a very high probability of going back to 98 to 100,000 on the low end, which lines up with these support levels here, which will be resistance in a downtrend. And I do think we could have wicks up to about the 108 to about the 111,000. So you're looking at a cool 7 to 18 to 16% on the way up. Now, before I go into the altcoins, everyone is always concerned about, well, when does alt season start? You need to look at Bitcoin's chart and make sure Bitcoin's going up. You need to look at Bitcoin's dominance chart, see that it's going down. And we had a beautiful run from 38% all the way to 66%. And now we're seeing confirmations to the downside, like death crosses. RSI was above since October 2022 and just went below 2025 July, right? Stochastic was above, broke to 50 here in August. So these are things that I look for in confirmations in the chart to help me understand momentum. Momentum changed June 2025 for Bitcoin's dominance. The problem is we want to see it fall all the way down while Bitcoin continues to go up, and then your alts will have a beautiful heyday, and I'll go into it. So as of right now, on the short term, I do think, and I'll end Bitcoin's technical analysis with this. Once again, I do think we go back up to the 100 to at least 110,000, and then we need to see what happens thereafter. Unfortunately, technical analysis is like chess. You can only do one move, and then you need to see how the market reacts, and then see what happens thereafter. If this leg up forms anything lower than this high here, that is concerning to me on the bearish side, because that would technically look like a head and shoulders pattern. If we come up and form the same high, it's still technically a head and shoulders pattern. So as of right now, I'm just saying the leg up is coming. We just need to see what happens thereafter. I'm setting alerts at 100,000, 105,000, 110,000. So now that we understand Bitcoin has a nice move to the upside, let's look at the alts. I did make a video on this one the other day as well. We are up from that position, and I said I'm going to be setting alerts at the $1.70. The $1.70 was clear support multiple times in the chart for some odd reason, and I say when something was support, it will be turned into resistance. But I do think this would make a beautiful W pattern, filling back up to the $2 and even going back to the 240. The most important thing is, once again, this leg up that is forming. Is it going to form a lower high to the $3.75? Because once again, on the macro level, you always need to look at the macro. Is this forming a huge descending triangle that could break to the downside closer to February, March 2026? I keep saying tax season is usually a bad time for every market, because if you've been holding an asset for over a year, you're going to pay long-term capital gains instead of short-term capital gains. And you go to your account and you say, hey, I'm up. Let's take some profit, potentially, and, pay the taxes. It's just that simple, right? They're going to come for you regardless. So once again, key levels I'm looking for is about a 20% play to the $2 level. And I can see it going back up to these levels here of around $2.30 to $2.45. SEI. So what I do is I look at the time. So these are trailing indicators, right? You're late to the party if the confirmations have already played out on the time frame that you're looking at. So you need to look at the time frame that is just about to pop. And that's the one that you look at the candle close and understand like how long, right? How long until this really plays out. So I'm looking at 5 days, 8 hours for this play to start playing out, maybe 1 to 2 candles for SEI to go back to the 11 and 21 day moving average. The reason why I say that so confidently is because we are still below the 50 line on the RSI. We have a ton of room to go back, see rejection like we did here, or like we did here, and go back to the RSI 50 line and get rejected at, let's just say, 17 cents to 20 cents. And I'll put it on the screen now so you can take a screenshot. Excuse me. Let's do right here. So once again, I look left and I look for levels that were used as support. And you can see here, clear as day, 17.1. And then I'm going to say right around here. So 17 cents, 0.171 to 0.198, and you're looking at a cool 21 to 39%. Now, that is the first leg. So once again, chess. First move I'm going to do is the leg up. Then I'd like to see a higher low thereafter, more hidden bullish divergence on the indicators, and then we could potentially fill this leg up and go back up to the 25 cents, leading back to these levels right here, 25 to 27 cents. But once again, the most important thing is the trend on the macro level is coming down. So $1.12, 73 cents, 39 cents. If we go to 26 cents, great, right? Because you're making 99%. And if you're using leverage, God bless. But once again, lower high, and we're using the same lows of 13 cents as support, so you have to assume if we do stop here, once again, February, March 2026, we will be using it as resistance, and then this is on the horizon thereafter. So once again, the plays from now, you're looking at 20% back to 17 cents, back to the 19 cents is a cool 40%. End the video with TAO. Once again, what I'm looking for is, I'm not looking at the ticker. Oops, excuse me. I'm not looking at the ticker. I am looking at the indicators and what's going on and where they are. So you could see we're about the golden cross. You could see the RSI broke above the moving average, and you could see on this chart we are closer to the 50 and about to break the 50. So I would set an alert here at the 49.69, notifying me that we are breaking above, notifying me that we are breaking above these wicks of 322.87, and then heading up to the 360 level, I would say, and then about here to the 400 level. So once again, a lot of these coins look the same, of about 18 to 20% to potentially 30 to, let's just say 33% on the way up, 364 to 400. What you're looking for the breakdown is the stochastic RSI to, well, first off, in order for this to go absolutely parabolic, you want to see it go above the 50 on the RSI, golden cross structure like it is about to do now, and stochastic above the 80. It remains above the 80, we remain above the moving averages, and then what we want to see in the first crack in the ice to take profit and understand that the top might be forming is when the stochastic death crosses and breaks below the 80 line. Example A, example B, example C. The things I tell you folks is not my opinions. I'm reading a chart and giving you an interpretation. I'm hoping that you're learning the terminology that I'm using, because it's the same terminology regardless of the time frame. The confirmations on a monthly time frame predict bull and bear markets. The confirmations on a weekly time frame predict swings. The confirmations on a daily time frame confirm intraday swings, and so on and so forth. The confirmations of bullish, bearish death crosses on a MACD, and then another question of where it is. Bullish and bearish death crosses on an RSI and what section it's in. Bullish and bearish death crosses on a stochastic RSI, again, what section it's in. And then it's one big matrix of mathematical equation to figure out, are we going up or down, and then where's resistance? It's that simple, or support. If you are looking for, so we just posted what tickers, and then we chose the ones with the highest likes and comments. If you're looking for a more technical analysis video of me explaining how I use the indicators, what the sections are, what they mean, and how I use them, leave it in the comment section, because I'm curious, and we're curious. If you just want me to be the price guy and be like, yeah, price is going here, and just a brief explanation of why, or are you actually looking to learn how to read the chart? Leave it in the comment section. I love you guys. I appreciate the support. I hope you're liking this new addition to the channel, and let's get charting. Enjoy the green candles, as you can see they're forming now. Enjoy.